Hey everyone, today we're going to be ranking the last 10 eyeshadow palettes that I got. These are the 10 eyeshadow palettes that I got recently, so if you want to see basically my mini review and thoughts on these palettes and which ones are my favorite and aren't my favorite, just keep watching. I'm actually really curious to see which palette you guys think is my favorite, so right now comment down below which of the palettes that I showed do you think are going to be my favorite. So to start, I'm going to go from my least favorite to my most favorite. So we're going to start at number 10. And number 10, we have JUVIAS Place Nubian Royal Palette. Now, I just want to say there's nothing wrong with this palette. It is a good palette. It's just not, like, it is really good. The quality's good. The formula is good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that out of all the other palettes, this one's on the back burner, which is kind of funny because if you're new here, I love purple. Purple eyeshadows are my favorite, so you would think that this would be like, you know, more of a high favorite, but it's not. If it would have been with all the other palettes from the last ranking, it would have, but so far, this is not one of my, like, most favorites of the 10 I got. I like it. The quality's really good. Like, this purple, stunning. Quality's great. It's just that I like the other palettes a bit more. I would still recommend this. It's affordable and it's a good palette, and I mean, it's purple. In number 9, we have the Kylie Cosmetics Grinch palette. If you haven't seen my video on this and you want to know more about this palette and my, like, love for it, you can go watch that video because I don't want to, like, dwell on, like, every single palette too much, but I basically bought this because of the nostalgia. Grinch is my favorite Christmas movie, like the live action one with Jim Carrey, favorite Christmas movie. So I wanted to get my hands on this. I was one of the lucky few who got it before it sold out in 3 minutes. And it's a stunning palette. Like, the packaging alone made me get it. And, like, it's a pretty palette, but the formula is not the best. Like, I love this palette because of the nostalgia factor, not because of the formula. I personally am not the biggest fan of Kylie's eyeshadows. Like, I like them, but they're not amazing. The only other palette I own from her now is the Story palette. I love that palette. This one is okay. The shimmers are not it, in my opinion. They are horrible. I don't like them. They're chunky. They're not very pigmented. But the mattes in here, splendid. I haven't had any issues, and I love the color story, honestly. Like, I love the pops of green, but then I also like this dark, like, brown green. Then you have this, like, light poopy brown, and then this, like, gray brown. It's really pretty, and the mattes are what do this for me. This is, like, a perfect sort of Christmassy palette, in my opinion, which is why it's higher than the JUVIAS Place palette. It's simply because, like, I like these tones for the holidays. Plus, I mean, I'm just happy that I got my hands on this, and even if I hated the palette, which I hate the shimmers, I still would keep it just because it's the Grinch. At number 8, we have Beetlejuice Recently Deceased palette by Mel Cosmetics. Now, you may be surprised by this because this has, like, my favorite, it's going to be really hard to show this, favorite colors, like greens and purples, but honestly, the metallics in this palette for the purples are not great. They're very sheer. They are too similar, in my opinion. They're just not it. Like, the mattes are beautiful and I love them, but the metallics, like, the green metallics are beautiful and intense and stunning, so I'm not sure why the purple metallics had to be basically just satiny shades. They're not my favorite, and I wish they would have made them more bam pow in your face. But I do like this palette. Another reason why it's ranked lower on my list is because the shade Beetlejuice oxidizes weird in the crease and on the outer corner. It's a very weird, like, oxidizing shade. Like, it's not detrimental to a look, but it's annoying enough that it made me rank it a little lower. Number 7, we have the Nikita Morphe palette. This is a palette I didn't plan on getting, but I did after seeing looks with it, and I am happy with it. It's a gorgeous palette, and I like the look I did with it. This shade Shigo is a beautiful green. It did some weird, like, weird stuff on my eye. Like, it got, like, splotchy, and I've never had eyeshadow get splotchy and, like, spots. It was so weird, but I feel like it only did that, like, on, like, some of the lids, so I feel like this shade would be good as, like, a lower lash line shade or like a blending out shade, but I don't think I'd recommend it all over the lid because I did that and it was kind of a mess. But other than that, I love this palette. I love the color story. The shimmers are nice. It does come with a glitter, but honestly, I don't mind it too much. It seems like there's always some sort of drama in the makeup community.
I'm just here to have fun with makeup, okay? Like, that's what I'm here for.
At number 6, we have the Beetlejuice Waiting Room palette, which, I mean, I'm surprised I like this more than Recently Deceased, but I do. This palette is phenomenal. It has the gray tones and then it has like reddy brown tones, and I love them. I love this palette. I did use the grays and I used the like reddy tones, and I love this palette. This is definitely one of my favorites. Like, it would be higher if I didn't have so many palettes that I like this month, but like, I just love this palette. I love the look I did with this, and I definitely know I'm going to be using the grays a heck ton because I really like them. And honestly, like, I'm happy that like I like this palette because you do get 10 shades and it was the most expensive palette, so I'm happy that I love it as much as I do. At number 5, we have the At Forest Sight Raw Beauty Christy and Colourpop palette. I was hyped for this palette as soon as I saw it. I got her original collab with Pure Cosmetics, which was a mess. Still own that palette and it's stunning, but this palette doesn't come with a mirror, which I feel like they could have done like a little mirror with like the artwork, but the artwork alone is gorgeous, so I'm quite fine with that. And you get all these gorgeous shades, like there's jewel tones, you get this beautiful orangey yellow, you only have 2 shimmers, mostly mattes. Like, this is just a palette I really like, and if like most of these palettes would be ranked higher if there weren't so many palettes that I was in love with, because I'm in love with all of these. And honestly, like, it's just so good. I did have like issues with Chanterelli. It like, it's just super duper, like, it's kind of reminded me of like how Subculture, like, you dip it in and there's like a huge hole because there's already a huge hole in this spot. But besides that, I love this palette and I can't wait to use this like dark like foresty green and the blues like all over my lid. I'm so excited for that. In number 4, we have the Head in the Clouds palette by Mitchell, made by Mitchell Brands. Comes with a big mirror, which of course is a plus, and then you get all of these shades. It's a stunning palette. I'm honestly shocked by the quality. It is very, very good. If you didn't know, I had horrendous issues with customer service that made me really think like I will probably not order from them again because the customer service was horrendous. So if you want to hear more about my thoughts on their customer service, make sure you go check out the video I did on this palette separately. But I love this palette, which is why it's like number 4. Like, I love it so much. When I used it, all the shadows were buttery, they blended really well, and they were pigmented, and I just love the color story. Like, with the background, it is kind of messy, but I really like the color story, and I haven't had any issues with any of the shades. And, like, I'm so excited for this color story, which is why I was so bummed how long I had to wait for it. A brand that I just tried is number 3, which is the Unicorn Cosmetics Wicked palette. Now, I've heard of Unicorn Cosmetics before, but honestly, the quality of this palette is amazing. This is like my perfect like Halloween, like fall vibe palette. Like, you have greens, you have purples, you have gray, like you have dark burgundies, you have blue. Like, you got so much going on in this palette, and I'm just obsessed. I love it so much, and I can't wait to see what else they come out with. I love this palette so much, and I can't wait to use the shade Corpse like all over the lid and blend it out into the crease. Like, I feel like that is going to be a stunning shade. And I did use like the grays and like a purple, and I just love this. The quality is amazing. Like, it is like maybe a tiny bit pricey, but honestly worth it in my opinion, and I'd highly recommend checking this out if you like this color story, because I'm in love with it. Hence why it's number 3. In number 2, we have the Colourpop and Star Wars Mandalorian The Child palette. This palette is so adorable. First of all, the packaging, stunning, so cute. I love The Mandalorian. I watch it every Friday with my fiance, and like, Baby Yoda, Grogu, has my heart. And you know what?
Yes, his name may be Grogu, but I'm still gonna call him Baby Yoda every so often.
Come at me. Like, it's just so adorable. And then, like, it does come with a mirror, and then there's like a little Grogu right there. It's so cute. The color story, though, this is beautiful. Like, this is stunning. Like, these green shades are perfect. Like, perfect Grogu colors. Like, perfect. I love it so much. I've done 3 looks with this palette so far. I love it so much. Like, obviously, I love the greens. Like, I couldn't pass those up. And then you have, like, more neutrally shades. So good. The quality is amazing. Colourpop's my favorite makeup brand, so of course, I'm always down to buy their stuff, and the fact that I was able to get my hands on this was awesome. And it's just stunning, and I love it so much. This is definitely a favorite for the year, and I highly would recommend you pick this up. Sitting at number 1 is the Beaute Bean X Shroud Cosmetics It's Freakin' Bats palette. Now, this palette was a whirlwind to get, but once I got it, it was worth the wait. It is worth any wait at all. It is the most stunning palette. It comes with a very nice mirror, and then you have these colors. I'm going to be buying a backup of this palette eventually, not going to lie, because I can see myself using this so much. You just have so many shades. Like, you don't have, like, I mean, you have 9 shades, but there's still so many variations you can do with this look. And I love every single eyeshadow. It is so good, you guys. Like, honestly, I cannot explain how in love with this palette I am. I just love it so much. It is stunning. The shades are beautiful. The quality is beautiful. The formula is amazing. Like, this could quite possibly be my favorite palette of 2020. Like, it is so good. I love the color story. Like, I can't get over how good the formula is, so I would highly recommend this. This is stunning. It's my favorite, and I can't wait to do more looks with this. It's just so good, and I'm so happy I was able to get my hands on it. I love it so much. Like, it's just so good. And the packaging's cute and adorable. Like, and I love Beaute Beans, so of course I wanted to get her palette, and I mean, this color story is so up my alley. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe, comment down below any videos you'd like to see me do. Go follow my Instagram and TikTok, Makeup by Tasha XO, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.